We have the latest for you right now on breaking news we've been following for you. Valley Water rescue divers are on standby to recover a body from the Cheyenne River in West Fargo. The Valley Today's Brian Sherrod joins us live this morning with what we know so far. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Lisa. You know, yellow caution tape still surrounding this area as officials are calling this a recovery effort. And you know, this search first started around Wednesday afternoon at 4:30. And this is at the Cheyenne River off of 13th Avenue in West Fargo. Now, officials received report of a possibly suicidal woman who could be in this Cheyenne River. Police, fire department, water rescue, drones, and canines are all used in this search. Emergency crews also faced with strong currents that are making this recovery even more challenging. But at this time, Valley Water Rescue is using underwater sonar for this search, and they're feeling that it's more suitable for the potential recovery.
The biggest challenge right now is there actually is a current in the Cheyenne River. Our crews are trying to work against that current to do some searching.
Now, I did reach out to West Fargo to try to see if we can receive updates on when we can see the crews out here again, or even try to look closely at the water to see if we can see the boats. And so far, nothing we've seen or no kind of updates so far. But what we can tell you, like I mentioned, is that this yellow caution tape behind me, you cannot cross this area. They're saying for you just to avoid this area in general. Again, we'll keep you updated as we receive more information.
Still a massive area blocked off. Brian Sherrod reporting live for us. Thank you. There's new information today on a North Dakota plane crash that killed 3 medical transport people. It happened out near Mandan. Federal investigators are now saying pilot error most likely caused that crash in 2018. The National Transportation Safety Board's final report says the plane went down because of the pilot's failure to maintain control of the airplane in dark night conditions. And that resulted in an in-flight overload failure of the wings and breakup of the airplane. Bismarck Air Medical pilot Todd Lasky, Metro Area Ambulance paramedic Chris Iverson, and CHI St. Alexis health nurse Bonnie Cook all died in that crash. They were on their way to Williston to pick up a patient. Breaking overnight, the Minneapolis City Council unanimously approved a budget early this morning that will shift about $8 million from the police department to violence prevention and other programs, but will keep the mayor's targeted staffing levels for sworn officers intact. The mayor had threatened to veto the entire budget if the council went ahead with its plan to cap police staffing. He says the vote was a defining moment for the city, which has experienced soaring crime rates amid calls to defund the police department since the May 25th death of George Floyd. Get ready for the cool down. Just as forecast, we are slowly starting to drop a little bit, and some other weather conditions to talk about this morning, Lisa.
Yeah, you know, that starts with a system that's been working its way through since last night up along the Canadian border area. And we've got some impacts from that to start off our day today. This is a recent view from a Minnesota DOT plow, their dash cam there, as they're looking along Highway 89 north of Roseau heading to the Canadian border. You can see there was a fresh coating of snow in that area with the latest round that just moved through. So they're still working on clearing this out. And roads are going to be slick in some of these spots. So easy to it this morning up north where we've had that precipitation. You can see most of it has moved on, but we are still dealing with the impacts of that to start off our day today. It's been very quiet in addition to being very warm. So this definitely signals a change here for us up in the north especially. Still a couple of sprinkles, a few flakes up by Baudette, but otherwise this has been quieting down. Temperatures have been mild to start the day. We're at 26 in Fargo, 10 degrees warmer in Grand Forks, and conditions that remain around the freezing mark for many places to start off here today. The other change happening is that wind is turning northerly or northwesterly, and in the wake of the system that's moving through, we've got those winds increasing in spots. We have some gusts into the 20s to near 30 in Gwinner, a gust to 28 miles per hour. So that's going to make it feel a little bit raw out there as you step outside and into that gusty weather here today. So a bit breezy out there. We'll see wind speeds into the teens for us here today, waiting out at the bus stop, maybe a gust or two into the 20s. This morning, temperatures are going to be around or below freezing, and we're looking at some partly to mostly cloudy skies here today, starting this morning and continuing into the afternoon. It's a little more gray out there. Those clouds could produce a flurry or two as well. Can't rule that out check out that temperature for your high. We're looking at about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than yesterday for your bus stop planner this afternoon. And that's the start. It's the beginning of the end of that nice mild weather we've had recently. We'll be dipping below freezing for highs as we head into the weekend and beyond. So good ice making weather for those who want that colder, wintry kind of weather to return. It's coming back.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. The U.S. is poised to take a big step forward in the fight against the coronavirus. An FDA advisory panel will vote today on whether to recommend emergency use authorization for Pfizer's vaccine. The first doses could be shipped to states this weekend. North Dakota's limited occupancy rules for bars and restaurants is being extended to January 8th. The state mask mandate is also extended to January 18th. But Governor Doug Burgum does say school sports can resume competitions starting this coming Monday. The governor says the shorter occupancy extension recognizes the economic impact that restrictions have placed on businesses. 48 state and district attorneys general have joined the federal government in an antitrust lawsuit against Facebook. They're accusing the company of being a monopoly that needs to be broken up. Facebook says it's being targeted because of its success. Joe Biden's youngest son says he's the subject of a federal investigation into his taxes. Hunter Biden says he only learned of this week. His father released a statement saying he is deeply proud of his son. A Breckenridge, Minnesota woman is out hundreds of dollars after hiring who she thought was a contractor in the Fargo-Moorhead area. She says she paid Tony Klein $800 to build a vanity and linen tower for her bathroom, but the work was never done. The Minnesota Department of Labor and Industry says that's not enough to put Klein behind bars. For that to happen, the project would have had to be more than $4,000. We've been reporting on Klein and his contracting schemes for years.
I was upset that I got ripped off, and I had seen that you guys had done a story on him a few years ago. And so I thought, this guy's still at it. Somebody needs to warn other people.
Consumers should not, under any circumstances, accept his offer or bids to do work. It is illegal, and they're likely going to get burned.
The best thing that Klein's victim can do now is take it up in small claims court. We tried several times to get a hold of Klein, but we were unsuccessful. People in Grand Forks are remembering fallen police officer Cody Holte this holiday season. Brenda Cole of the Muddy Waters Clay Center made these ornaments and is gifting them to the police department, Holte's family, and everyone who was on call on May 27th. That was the day Holte was shot and killed while serving an eviction notice. Other community members made and donated a memorial wreath in honor of Officer Holte. The officers are keeping it on display in the lobby throughout the holiday season. In our schemes and ripoffs this morning, watch out for 2 new scams targeting people in the Fargo-Moorhead area. One involves a spoofing of the phone number for the Cass County Sheriff's Office main line. The caller identifies themselves as a deputy and claims to be notifying people that they have an active arrest warrant. The phone number being used is 701-241-5800. Now, at times, the Cass County Sheriff's Department will call people about an active warrant in an attempt to set up a court appearance, but bond payment is never requested over the phone. The bond must be paid in cash at the courthouse. Now, the other scam we want you to know about, it has someone contacting people and telling them that they won a cash prize through the Publishers Clearinghouse. The scammer says a payment must be made in order to claim their winnings. But a heads up, if it was legitimate, you would not be asked to pay anything up front. All of the fees would be removed from the sum of your winnings. The Sheriff's Office says they're unaware of anyone falling victim to these scams. And in our consumer alert this morning, the top 100 trending gifts of 2020. Google recently unveiled its list, and the musical bedtime JJ CoComelon plush doll came in as the most Googled toy for kids this holiday season. The doll is inspired by JJ, a popular character from the educational CoComelon YouTube series. The JJ doll is a bedtime friend that comes with 7 sounds and phrases, including the Yes, Yes bedtime song, When Squeezed. The annual lighting ceremony of the National Hanukkah Menorah takes place today, just across from the White House, in the same park as the White House Christmas tree. The National Menorah website says the lighting of the menorah is attended by thousands every year and seen by millions around the world with streaming services. This year's ceremony will likely have fewer people attending in person due to the pandemic. Join Valley News Live as we team up with the Great Plains Food Bank for a virtual food drive. There are a number of items that you can buy and donate right from your phone. To find out more, just use your VNL News app, look for the virtual food drive button, and click to donate. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: during the difficult 10 months of the pandemic, 69% of people said that this gave them an added sense of hope. What is it? The answer: their pet. And of course, we also heard that a lot of people adopted pets during the pandemic, so it makes sense. Remember, you can play along every weekday morning by heading to our Valley News Live Facebook page. The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. Join us right now for more live up-to-the-minute news and weather on the Fargo CW.